let's talk about how to charge. Um, Generally, there are two different ways physicians charge for these life care plans. They either charge by the hour or they charge by a flat rate. So let's take the flat rate first. Flat rates, so they may be a schedule of fees for life care plans. A simple life care plan, maybe $2,000. A catastrophic life care plan, maybe $10,000 or whatever the fee is. Okay, and that's what they charge. Everybody knows what the rate is. Everybody understands that, and that's how much you charge. When you charge by the hour, the problem with charging by the hour is that the clients, especially new clients, are very reluctant to give you a blank check. So let's say you're charging $500 an hour for your time in doing a life care plan. And that includes all the services that you do, reviewing records, writing reports, costing out things, meeting with the injured person, and so on and so forth. The lawyer that's hiring you says to themselves, well, okay, $500 an hour is reasonable, but how do I control how many hours they're going to put in? If I say, okay, and I sign a retention agreement saying $500 an hour, it's like giving the physician who I've never worked with before a blank check. Okay, so sometimes clients, like attorneys and insurance companies, would much prefer to pay by a flat fee. This gives them certainty in terms of how much they're going to have to pay and so forth. So just think of it in your own personal terms. Many of you eventually will have to hire an attorney, whether it be on a real estate problem, or whether it be, God forbid, a divorce or something. And if you went into an attorney's office and they told you this project is going to cost $5,000, well, you can think about whether you want, if that's fair and reasonable. If it is, you sign an agreement and pay the $5,000. However, if they say that we're going to charge you $500 an hour, and you ask them how many hours it's going to take, and they give you a lawyer-like answer, which say, well, we don't know. It depends on how much work there's involved. So now you're faced with the choice of either paying $5,000 and that's it, or paying $500 an hour with no certainty as to how much it's going to be. And every day you go home, and every day when you get your mail, you open up the mail and say, oh God, I hope it's not another bill from the attorney. And you really have no parameters. There is a sort of another way of doing it, and when we work with physicians as a consultant, very often we'll do, we might do an hourly rate. Sometimes you do a flat fee, sometimes you'll do an hourly rate. If we do an hourly rate, I will say the fee is $3,000. I will not exceed $3,000 without your written consent. So they know that the maximum I'm going to charge is $3,000, even though we're working on an hourly rate. And that gives them some assurance that we're not going to run wild and run up some crazy bill.